Why does my elbow sting? Stop. Sometimes when my sweat glands open, it stings like a pinprick. I got 2 in one place though just now. And there's a lot of drip down there. Huh. Anyway. Hey. We asked for this, remember? We're on this journey together, you and I. You've got the sword and the armor, and I've got the loot. Both kinds of loot. But the jungle outside and the exterior are just the same at night. You just can't see it beyond the fire's warm, glowing embers. Can you? Well, neither can I. But I'm out here on the road and I can't see that far down the road. And I don't need to. Not right now. I'm not wed to it. I'm not a scout. I'm a lute player. Merrily chortling off to you right now. So take your armor off. Shield down. They're heavy. You don't need them. The fire is a prime deterrent for the sorts of things that might come across us on the road at this point. Here's your turkey leg. Here's a cold drink. If you prefer lemonade, well, down by the fire, things aren't always what they seem. Perhaps you have strawberry lemonade in your hand now. What are you going to do? It's dinner time. Let's share stories. The point of that entire image, besides just for it being, as it continued to unfold itself, with or without my support, the whole point of that moment was just, hey, let's talk. Let's talk for a second, because I just came off of a Randall Carlson podcast. That's the last thing I did. I spent 9 minutes and 30 seconds returning to the Randall Carlson scene. I did not pay for their 3 5-hour things that they posted that cost money to do. I think they're still up on the internet though, so again, when the numbers come in and the numbers are good, you bet your sacred geometry that I'll be pentagoning over there. Take my money. Now, after those 3 things they did, I think they might have been on a trip or doing live workshops. So they dedicated weeks to that. And now they're back. So when I get home, after working everything today, or this afternoon, maybe between shifts, who knows, I'll have the chance to sit down and listen to those guys for 2 hours. But they had a nice long intro today on the Cosmographia podcast. They were talking about growing wine. They were talking about spring coming and the networking of newly formed webs of rivers and streams that come with the warming of the weather in snow beridden places like Minnesota and Vermont. And we switch sides politely. After all, I've got the bandwidth, right? I've got the power. I'm full of double A's. Rechargeables, of course. Where's that turkey leg? Actually, it's more like fried beans and eggs this afternoon. Doesn't matter. Point was, they were talking about as kids, during times of the year when things were warming up, they had experiences of damming up those streams and marveling at the bigness of those streams sometimes, and how strange it was that nature was going to take those streams back when the caps that supplied these temporary running structures was eventually vanquished by the heat for that season, to be replaced next cold season. You can see snowcaps from my neck of the woods a few months out of the year sometimes, not every year. If I remember correctly, there have been years when I looked for snowcaps and didn't find them. Oh, there's some deer. Hey boys, looks like a doe and 2 little chitlins. You can't see that, can you? They're in shadow. They're keeping to the shade. Smart. Well, we'll leave the deer aside and take a left up here, I think. That's what we're gonna do. Goodbye, dear friends. Yeah, so... Okay, we got friends coming up, so we're gonna do this. Mind our business on this side of the road. And switch back when the time is right. And when things quiet down, we'll do the old whip around to Gillicuddy. Nothing's happening on that side. Things are happening on that side. So we're just gonna keep over here for a second. My less favorite side of the road. That's okay though. They were talking about these rambling adventures as kids. Kind of like the one we're on, right? The boys, the Snake Bros, the younger ones, Russ and Kyle. Okay, now we've got traffic on both sides, so I can see it in this direction easily. So we're gonna keep to this side now. And mathematically, he's probably gonna meet me before I get to this next part, unless I give it a little juice. And then we slow down, creep into the driveway, keep it warm, keep it toasty, keep it hot. Do a little jump. I grew up on Mario and Mega Man. I know all about jumping. No, I don't. But I know enough to know that it can be done. I also know I'm not going to make this next driveway by the time this blue truck says hello. So there's a lump in the ditch right here. Good for the standing. Good for the standing. Like a goat. Not the greatest of all time. It's not our goal today. But instead to mimic the billy goats. Alright. Now we've got a little extra space. Just taking you through my process. Long-windedly coming to a crest with my subject matter here. Just painting pictures of streams and cherry bombs and blowing up dams and getting property holders mad and getting into trouble. The reason why I bring all that up while we're down here at the fire chewing on turkey legs and giblets and teas and juices of various kinds is that I never did anything like that. Not with cherry bombs. That's really all that I wanted to say. I never did that. Never got in that level of trouble. I almost got in trouble a few times. I definitely got in a little bit of trouble. But that was mostly youthful, cannabis-oriented stuff, wasn't it? I'll bet we talked about this. But I'm going to bring it up again because it's new and I'm working with it. Again, just like the Wim Hof technique. This is where we're at. So let's talk about it and get it prized so we can get a realistic roadmap. After all, the darkness is all around. The unknown and the possible just looking at us from the 360. Which brings up another thing, but before we get to that, if at all, these wine planters and these geologists that we speak of had childhoods that were full of exploration. And the same monotonous, studious, cultural building crapola, such as school, that I had. And they did a lot with it. They took it and they ran with it. Now we're out here taking ours and running with it. That brings me to FOMO. I didn't realize that I had a sense of FOMO. Not really. Maybe here and there. I got an inkling. Maybe I even said something about it, but right now, it's profound. You want to see the field? Okay. I'll just hold you that way for a little while. Can you hear it? I'll shut up for a sec. Can you hear it? Remember how we talked about zillions of slapping leaves in the quiet dusk fall sounding like applause in a cosmic stadium that I'm the center of? Though I am but a humble lute player. Well, what does that grass sound like? It sounds like smoke. Something struck my ear. I'm okay. It sounds like smoke. It sounds like silken, sandy sheets of soil running off the dunes in a distant, silvery, moonscaped land. Sounded like the hourglass letting us know we've been out here. Making it happen. Giving some time. Giving some time to a horizon we approach and know not of. Something grand about it. My mind is full of silvers and reds listening to that sound. Silvers, reds, and soft golds. Something altogether grand and marvelous. I feel rich. But this is no time for armor. And this is no time for bling. It's time for good posture, resiliency, talk, map making, horizon bidding, battle planning. And that was the subject that I was talking about earlier. I lost my thread and almost went 3 or 5 places. But I do have a sense of FOMO. The fear of missing out. It's all retroactive. I'm a retroactive FOMO junkie. The reason why I say that is because I find myself almost comforted by the late night stressors of I didn't then, so I must now. I didn't then, and what a shame, is what it used to be. And then my little feathered pen trembled, and I changed my font. And when I did, the words came out. Retroactive FOMO. I missed out then and need not now. Well, I missed out then and must not now, is how it kind of sort of warped and evolved. Now, we're delicately gnashing at the tenders of the drumstick of possibility that says, did not then, may perhap now, am invited to now, can do now, with you now. Who now? Who's watching this? Who just gleaned anything from what I just said? I spoke in code. It's unfortunate that I'm not a better poet or lute player. Otherwise, y'all probably be headbanging and having a great time. Maybe you are. Well, now that that's sorted, didn't then, can now, is my working solution to retroactive FOMO, addiction, problems. I'm not a problem guy, I'm a solution guy. Let's make this happen. I thrive on enthusiasm, and you're here with me, so cheer me on. From wherever the hell you are, whoever the hell you are, or whatever. Lizard people, anyone in the back? You got the popcorn. Come. I'm out of turkey legs, but I have a wing. 2 of them, in fact. Look at them flap. Ha. Ha. 3 wings, really. Because what is the job at a 3rd wing flapping? Navigating a different kind of current. Is this too absurd for you? Do you not feel like falling down stairs with the letters DRSUESS on them? Is this too gilgoogly, malbuddly for you? If so, please like, comment, and subscribe. Boy, it's warm. It's where we were a second ago. Oh, running sideways on dirt clods. Ooh. Ooh. Hey, sometimes my Achilles tendons ache. Not today, because I just felt them stretch and wake up and yawn and say, yeah, I'll take that unexpected shock for you. No, we will not turn an ankle today, Justin. You may keep running, man. Don't you have a podcast? I'm a fan. Well, thank you, Achilles tendons. You know this is a team effort. Goals. Goals, not super attached to them. There's a way of weaving them into the high expectations, low morale prattle that we continue to espouse and spew as a broken faucet might. For example, my end game that I won't talk about. But here's some other stuff that we have to look forward to. That when I experience these things, you bet your hellish helixes that you will be informed and debriefed at the end of the mission on the ride on out. What is this mission? Well, there's many. Well, what are these missions? One of them, I had forgotten that Wim Hof was still, or rather that he was coming back to doing live workshops. We're going to do one at some point. I thought about doing one before what is famously called the Backstreet Boys reunion tour that entranced us all with the tickets we did not want to grasp for, but got wind of anyway. A lot of us had to stay home to keep away from the concert and apply techniques such as a word that begins in the letter Q that is 3 syllables that will get you demonetized if you speak it on the YouTubes. We've all been hunkered down, and now we're not. So people like Wim Hof are coming out, getting back to their good old stuff, such as workshops. I would really like to do a Wim Hof workshop. I have questions. For example, you didn't see it on episode 24 necessarily when I broke protocol and showed you my boyish and cherubically good-looking face. And by that I mean my adult... Let's not mischaracterize myself. If you saw me, you know. Think what you want. I think I have camel-like good looks myself. I will not spit at you, I promise. Well, those sticks were placed there. These right here. I ain't no ranger. When I see 20 sticks parallel in a bed of scattered debris, I think bundle. Whoops. I just adjusted my wire and blackened the camera, so we're gonna do this. Hey. And then... Oh God, I needed my right hand just then for the sweat of the eyes. Ow! Whew! Whew. Where are we? Oh yeah, goals. I want to do a Wim Hof workshop. That sounds good. I have questions, like I said, such as, from the limited camera captures that I've seen of those workshops, I've never really seen anybody's torso inflate the way that mine does. I can draw a lot of air into my body cavity. Particularly on the dive, before the big breathe out, and the recovery breath. Those 2 moments, dive and recovery breath, right at the zenith of the breath, I really have a lot of air in my system. Like, it's prohibitive. Like, damn it, I did it again. I'm sorry, I'm doing this thing where I'm trying to address the clicking that I hear while running and talking. Oh, it smells like spices. That's nice. Anyway. Hopefully you're not too blurry. I don't know. If you are, you are. If I click, I click. Okay. This bike lane is pretty friendly. We're gonna stay on it. Even though I like that road much better. The chain link says no. Fine. What else? End game. Zillion billion runs. Wim Hof. Oh yeah! The Cosmographia boys. I'd like to head out and be a part of one of those trips. That might be happening at some point in the near future. Tag along, hang out, and see what it's like to do some hiking. Whew. Yeah, grand and fine. Good ideas. Connect with some people. Come back to society a little bit. And by society, I mean just close enough to enter the orbit of a few renegades. Because the world can use more renegades, can't it? Oh, the world, your world, my world, depending. I'm not going to speak for you. Or if I do, I'll backpedal and say a word like depending. You know, I'm not sure if we've sworn. Oh God, this podcast. I'm not sure if I've done any cursing. I'm going to review the material. If the material checks out, this is going to be, this could be Household Friendly Cast number 3 or number 4. I might have, I think it's number 3. Doesn't matter. Whew. Time check. Almost an hour. Cool. You know, we're on the way back. Let's put a bookmark in here for later review. Oh, instead of bookmarking, let's just add it to the goals, shall we? Some goals are far away. Some goals are indeterminate. Actually, most goals are indeterminate that I have. But one goal we could do right now. I'm not gonna, even though I'm right there and could. On this very road lies a college. It is a big college. By my standards, probably a small one by yours. I don't know. But one thing that I can tell you, people have reported to me that a lot of kinesiology comes out of that place, which is highly respectful in my book, in my table of good things. But also it's good for the running. Oh no, I just felt my bowels shift. Ooh. Ooh, could be gas. It feels a little too heavy for that, though. Hard to tell. Sensitivity is a real winger, isn't it? I said winger with a G. Algorithm. I thought it was a speck of bark on my right shoulder. There's... Wait, let me get my shoulder into the sun. So you can see. Okay, there's the lens. Look at this guy. Look at this little beetle. You see him? Oh. What's up, bro? Oh, you're so goddamn cute. Okay, must watch the road. Oh, I got little beetle, bro. You are probably way out of focus now. Hey, there's a hand right there. There's a tree right there. All right. Maybe we're back on track. This is going to be a fun one to play back. I got a little beetle, bro. Oh, he's moving to the shoulder blade. All right. Kind of thought you might like it up on top where you could see everything. Fine. Just keep my orifices out of it and we're going to be all right. Okay, maybe not a household-friendly podcast. That's fine. Randall Carlson. Travel and hike with those guys on one of their projects. Take a sacred geometry class with them. That sounds good. Whew. Visit the pub that they set up? Are you kidding me? Hell yeah. If they have a stout, I'm sold. What else? Pub, workshop, trip, Wim Hof, college run. We gotta have some things to look forward to, man. Come on. End game, okay. What else? Well, I have some others that I'm just gonna keep to myself for now. And just like I have a lot of indeterminate timelines, I also have a lot of fuzzy dreams. I need to be bringing my dreams a bit more into a high-resolution, articulable, effervescent, tasty, licorice-like image. I need to be bringing these things in to focus. Sometimes, not everything. The danger of not doing that is running away from things. I want to be running toward things. Struck in the crown. I mean, it's spring. What are you going to do? I do have that meditation chart. So let's just tack on 1,000 hours of meditation. I'm on my way to 200. That's something. Yep, Beetle Boy's still here. Cool. What else? Well, I'll let you know when I have more. No need to dwell. Another danger could be associated with overly reaching for things that are not yet here. I don't want to have everything all at once. I want to break off a little piece and savor it. Remember, I'm a long distance runner. I'm Run Man. I do things like make podcasts for 2 hours. At some point, 5. Where I talk all the time and run. I'm a slow burn boy. Depending on the day, I'm also a blaze boy. So, hey, take your pick. Today is slow burn. what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago, I noticed a giant branch at my house had fallen off of an old dying tree across a fence line, ensconced and enshrouded in a prodigious afro of blackberry bushes. Whoo boy! And blossoms. A real petri dish for all forms of life. A lot of good stuff happening on that shrubbery until this branch came crashing down, almost destroying the car of a neighbor. A new neighbor. Blah. People. I do love people. Remember when I said that? Well, it didn't strike their car. Against all odds, I think the blackberry bush actually saved not only the fence, what remains of it, and the car. Now, under my full strength, I could barely lift it by squatting under it and driving my body up. The branch was 15 feet across, I want to say. No, I'm sorry, 15 feet long. Oh my God. 15 foot long. It was one of the primary 5 or 6 branches of the tree. And our heavy winds recently knocked it plumb off the trunk. There's several more that are a bit safer looking from neighborly perspectives that are probably next. But that one fell then. And in one piece. It was heavy as balls. And then I noticed it. I was just coming off a shift. And I was like, I don't want to do anything. I had just made up my mind not to sweep the house. And I saw this thing and I was like, well, I guess I'll... I think... I was going to add some details. I'm not going to add them. I'll just say... you're going, aren't you? Okay. It's okay. Whew. There was a kid in that car. Godspeed. At least Mom's got coffee. Kind of floored me a little bit, didn't it? Oh, yeah. We're processing material right now. Iron slag turning to victorious iron, combining with grommets, nuts, and bolts of